Hi Flosstube and Instagram friends! Welcome to my channel, Contented Needleworker Kim. I have a Flosstube extra for you today where I'm going to attempt to share with you my finishes for 2022. There may be a couple of seasonal finishes tucked away, but this should be the majority of them, and there were 75. I will also link the video for my 2021 finishes in case there's something I don't mention today that you're interested in. I'm only going to give you the names of the charts and the designers for things that I finished in the year 2022. I'll also be mentioning some Etsy store designers, and so I'll try to put the names of their stores in my description box. Okay, let me back up. This is just a small room in my home where I do my stitching, and like I said, most of my stitching is on display in here. And I will try to show you all the walls as we go along. Here's my first finish I want to share with you is Misty Luminous Fiber Arts, A Midsummer Song. Let me pan this wall for you because I do have a couple of seasonal pieces on display here. I did go all the way to the ceiling. All right, come in and around my wall. We're going to start with the drawer of finished objects but not fully finished. This is Prairie Schooler. I believe it's called Prairie Birds, as well as the Sewing Club book by Blackbird Designs, the Housewife, as well as this bird here. And then Home for the Holidays, Blackbird Designs has the stockings. I have 3 stockings there, as well as this strawberry, well, future strawberry. And another Christmas finish I just did not quite get made into the pillow. This is by SamplersPrimitives. ANewCreationbyAlison on Etsy. Christmas Square, I believe is the name of that one. Plum Street Samplers Rack Stack. This is a small portion of the Lydia Sharp sampler from the Sampler Antique Needlework Quarterly magazine. Summerbird by CraftyMJC on Etsy. Together Forever Pin Keep and Drum. Now, if you watch me, you know that I often only stitch portions of samplers and charts, and this is one of those where I did not stitch the entire design or make it into a drum. This is by Scattered Seed Samplers. Cottage Garden Samplings, A Heart Full of Gratitude. In addition to only stitching the portions, I often will try to add scripture, change the verses and add scripture to my pieces. Anna Grader, The Scarlet House. Out on a Limb, Needlework Press. And the other Cottage Garden Samplings finish for me this year was Have Courage. I did add the music note. I believe this is Sing for Joy from the same series. Brenda Gervais, With My Needle and Thread, a Quaker sewing tray. This is how I store my fancy floss. Barbara Anna, Love Never Fails. Elizabeth Isles, The Scarlet Letter. Chrissy Nelson, La-Di-Da. Eugenia Hoyt, Little Robin Designs. Tetelestai, Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I also want to mention that everything you see in here was framed by me. It's either in the size that the thrifted frame came in, you know, a thrifted frame from an antique mall or a thrift store, or I resized it. I cut it down to fit my stitching. I don't use glass. None of these were new finishes until we get to A Rabbit Alphabet by JBW Designs, as well as An Elegant Alphabet by JBW Designs. Might be the Rabbit Sampler. These are some wonderful scissor holders by Pete's Bee Skeps, available on Etsy. Let's come down here and sneak in so we don't miss A Robin's Discovery by Misty at Luminous Fiber Arts. Another first I did this year were all of these clock finishes. Really had a lot of fun with that. Anniversaries of the Heart, Blackbird Designs. Here is my first Cross Stitch Antiques, Kathleen Littleton. This is Phyllis Crew. This is Mary Amelia's Bird by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, as well as American Bird by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. Then right next to it we have Blackwater Blooms, Needle Made Designs, Anna Oman, Leela's Studio. There's another strawberry up there from the Blackbird book, Home for the Holidays. And these are Sewing Club book finishes, Tiny Treetops, and I do not remember the name of that one. And there's a little drum right there, my first drum, my only drum. Let's see. Chubby Bird by Jeanette Douglas Designs. A Heart Remembers, Blackbird Designs. That's the name of the book as well, A Heart Remembers. M+A, Needlework Press. Clara Hansen, obviously made quite a few adjustments to that. We have some perforated paper finishes. M. Grodes, CraftyMJC. This is a sampler that is no longer available, just a small portion of it. From a store in the Netherlands. Red Horse Sampler by Sub Rosa, also on Etsy. Victoria House Designs is the store on Etsy, and I believe it's Garden of Paradise. I have some beautiful gifts here in my little tiered tray. The pins and the waxer and the strawberry, as well as this housewife. And then the stitching here is also by Misty at Luminous Fiber Arts. I think it's called My Heart Is Yours. And then Stitcher. Had a lot of fun decorating my little tiered tray here. Okay, let's go up to this wall. We have Pineberry Lane, and this is Sarah Barker. This is another Brenda Gervais with my needle and thread, and it's called Frances Poole. Jenny Brimer, Milady's Needle. Where Your Treasure Is by Abby Rose Designs. Red and Green Carnation Sampler by Samplers Remembered. And a couple more perforated paper finishes. This top basket is from the A Tisket a Tasket. It's a small booklet with several very charming designs by Needlework Press. And this was a free, I believe it's Maria Fernandez by Couleur Tourterelle. Forgive my pronunciation. I will put the name of her below. Okay, let's see if I can back up and give you this wall. I had a very small finish here on perforated paper from, again, that's just the bird from Heart Remembers by Blackbird Designs. And this is also from the Tisket a Tasket small booklet by Needlework Press. Antique Birds by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. Okay, over here on the left is Prudence Pairing by Samplers Remembered. And then we have Spot the Horse by Carriage House Samplings, or Kathy Barrick. Polly Traveling Stitcher, available at Attic Needlework in Mesa, Arizona. I have a little more space on my walls, which is good because I have a lot of samplers I hope to finish this year. Okay, Sarah Allen by Needlework Press. Hands Across the Sea samplers, the Pear and the Giant Rose, as well as Jesse Watson by Hats. I'm going to come over here and we have Ellen Chester with Thy Needle. This is Hanna Cummins. Needlework Press, Mary McGee. Isabel Howie, Priscilla's Pocket. This is a very special piece. It was finished for me by a friend, Deanna. I think of you every time I see it. Such a blessing. Thank you so much. This is my last finish, was Elizabeth Hunter by the Scarlet House. I finished it on New Year's Eve. Beautiful needle roll, a gift from a friend for Christmas. And Plum Street Samplers, A Gentleman's Daughter. W. Wallace by Red Barn Samplers. I only stitched a portion of Dutch Beauty. Mary Linley, The Scarlet House. Needlework Press, Polly Wanna and Margaret Croft. M.A. Badger, Traveling Stitcher. Elizabeth Strickland by Chloe Wood, Girl with a Gavel, available on Etsy. And Dutch Mini Sampler, From the Heart, Needle Art by Wendy. I think that is everything. I am preparing for my whip parade, so I have just a handful of things that I'm getting ready to share with you on my stitching chair. Hopefully that'll be sometime next week. I hope that you are all having a wonderful new year, and I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon. Take care.